DanishTuber, og velkommen til lektion nummer 4, lesson number 4. Og i dag hedder det på café. Today it's called at the cafe. This is a super popular pastime in Denmark, so it's pretty useful to know how to order at the cafe, what you need to say when you go in, that kind of stuff. So it's going to be a simple sort of, here are some phrases you can use, takeaway phrases, everything you need to know when ordering coffee. But it's kind of boring for me to just tell you how to say it, so I want to quiz you a little bit and ask you, how do you say this? How do you think you say this? Just to try and, force your brain to start trying to push out words already. So don't get disheartened if you don't know how to say something, or if I say it in a different way to you. It is really just an exercise to practice, forcing your brain to do something. And you can see here the document I've already written in English, and I'm going to ask you, how do you maybe say this in Danish? So the first thing is, imagine somebody calls you, hey, what are you doing? And you say to them, I'm at the cafe. How might you say that in Danish? Hvordan siger man det på dansk? Det hedder, jeg er på café. Jeg er på café. Keyword here is på. And often you can think of po as being at. So I'm at the cafe, I'm at the restaurant, I'm at the library. It's always po with a lot of these words. I've written here, I'm sitting at the cafe, because often, for whatever reason in Danish, you say whether you are sitting, whether you are standing. So, I'm sitting reading a book, I'm sitting in the train, I'm standing making food. So, do you know the word for sitting? It's kind of similar. Sidder. Jeg sidder på café. Hey, jeg sidder på café. Sådan. I'm drinking a cup of coffee. Maybe not at the cafe. Maybe it's drinking. Hvordan siger man det? How do you say that? Det hedder, jeg drikker en kop kaffe. When I can highlight it, come on. Sådan der. Jeg drikker en kop kaffe. Sådan der. Booyah. Okay, so let's imagine you're out in the city with your friend and you want to say to that person, hey, I want to invite you for a coffee. And it is how you might say that. I want is of course super useful, and it's jeg vil. I will sounds like, but it means I want. Vil is always your wish, always your want, something you desire. And invite is invitere, also kind of similar to English. Jeg vil invitere dig til en kop kaffe. Jeg vil invitere dig til en kop kaffe. Sådan. Maybe sort of more chill, you might just say, should we go to a cafe? Should we go to a cafe? And that is how you might say that. With these phrases, there's like always, several ways to say the same thing. As long as you get your message across, that's the most important. I've written here, skal vi tage på café? Tage being the key word of, like, usually when you go somewhere, you use tage rather than go. Skal vi gå på café? You could also say it, but go also means to walk, so sometimes there's some confusion, especially when you talk about traveling. You go to Spain, I'm going to Spain, but when you use go, it sounds like walking. I'm walking to Spain, which you're probably not doing if you're in Denmark or whatever. So you would say, jeg tager til Spain. Jeg tager til Spain. Cool. Shall we get a coffee? Basically the same, right? Skal vi tage på café? Yeah, I know I've translated that should we go to the cafe? I could arguably say shall, because skal technically should be skulle if it was should. But whatever, it's the same. Shall we get a coffee? Skal vi få en kop kaffe? Skal vi få os en kop kaffe? Sådan. Do you fancy a coffee? Don't know if you know that sort of way of asking, but maybe it's a bit British. Do you fancy a coffee? It's like, do you feel like having a coffee? Hey, you want a coffee. So, how might you ask that? Of course, you can always ask, would you like a cup of coffee? Which is, will you have? Literally, vil du have? Vil du have en kop kaffe? But I've written here, har du lyst til kaffe? Har du lyst? Which is a really nice, sort of more chill expression. Hey, you feel like getting coffee? Har du lyst til? It's on me. I'm paying. It's on me. How might you say that? Give you a clue. It's literally like saying, I'm giving. I will give it. So give in Danish is giver. Jeg giver. Although you pronounce it giver, really. Jeg giver. Eller giver. Yeah, the V actually gets dropped in most cases. Giver. Jeg giver. Okay, so now let's imagine we've arrived at the cafe and the person, the assistant, is going to ask, can I help the next person? How might they say that? You can try to translate directly here because it's very similar. It is, of course, kan jeg hjælpe den næste person? I could write in brackets, right? But usually it's implied that I mean the person. Kan jeg hjælpe den næste? There's many examples where you don't have to say menneske or person. Kan jeg hjælpe den næste? What can I do for you? What can I do for you? Okay, it's kind of a good literal translation this time if you know all the words in Danish. Hvad kan jeg gøre for dig? Hvad kan jeg gøre for dig? They might ask, what can I get you? What can I get you? Hvad kan jeg få dig? Ja, for dig. Hvad kan jeg få for dig? Bedre. Sådan. What can I get for you? Nice. Okay, so now we get to this part where you're going to make your order. And you're going to ask, I would like. Again, there's several ways to say it. How might you say it? The classic is, jeg vil gerne have. Jeg vil gerne have. I would like. So gerne here is not really a translation, it's just a positive sort of reinforcer, it's an adverb. You can also leave it out and say, jeg vil have. Arguably, that sounds a little bit more forward, but both are fine. But there are some other ways. Let me highlight these. I've written here, må jeg bede om, which is arguably the most polite way, because you're saying, may I ask for, may I get, må jeg bede om, må jeg bede om. You know, at bede on its own is to pray, to ask for something. So that's why I hear it as being more polite. You can also then combine the two and say, jeg vil gerne bede om. Hej, jeg vil gerne bede om kaffe latte med havremælk. Jeg vil gerne bede om en cappuccino og en chokoladebolle. Whatever it is. Cool. So then they usually ask you, are you sitting here or is it to go? And I kind of was like, is that how you say it in English? But that is how you say it in Danish, so how would you translate that sort of almost directly? The verb always comes first when in this kind of question, so sidder du her, eller tager du det med? Have I written? Yes, here it is. Sidder du her, eller tager du det med? Sitting you here or taking you it with. So with is just, you don't need to add with you or anything like that. But actually, the word to go is now super commonly used and it's in the Danish dictionary. So they might ask you, sidder du her, eller er det to go? But of course you can cut out this question completely by when you order, saying, jeg vil have en cappuccino to go. Yeah, they already know. Sorry, I don't eat chinos. I've written here, it's to go. Okay, so I've already said it basically. You might say, I'm taking it with. Jeg tager det med. Jeg tager det med. It's happening with my nose. Okay, well, just a few left. They are usually going to ask you anything else you want. How might they say that? Ellers andet. Ellers andet. It sounds a bit funny. It's literally like otherwise anything. Otherwise anything. Ellers andet. They may ask you instead, was that everything? Was that everything? Var det det hele? Var det det hele? Var det det hele? When they ask you ellers andet, you might respond to that saying, that was everything. That was everything. You can take inspiration from this one. Actually, you have all the words you need. We only have to flip them around a little bit and say, det var det hele. Det var det hele. Så ellers andet? Nej, det var det hele. Anything else? Nope, that was everything. If you're going to ask for something else, again, you just go back to the phrase we had before. Maybe add the word also. I would also like to get. Jeg vil også gerne have. Jeg vil også gerne bede om. You can use both. Jeg vil også gerne have. Jeg vil også gerne bede om. So then, sometimes they're going to ask you like, may I get a name? They write on your cup. I don't know, maybe it's just the places that I go to, but like Starbucks or whatever. May I get a name? How would they ask you that? Of course, there are many ways. They might just ask you, well, dit navn. Hvad er dit navn? What is your name? Må jeg få et navn? Må jeg få et navn på det? Hvad er dit navn? The keyword you're listening for, right, is noun. Often, I guess, when you think of this kind of thing, like, you need to listen out for those keywords, like hele. What did he heal? Maybe they say it very quickly, but you catch the word heal, and it's asking me, was that everything? And you sort of continue, right? Okay, so maybe you're together with a friend, or together with a date, together with your girlfriend, boyfriend, and they ask you, are you paying together or separately? How might they ask you? Betaler I sammen, eller hver for sig? Betaler I sammen, eller hver for sig? Hver for sig is like saying each for your own. You can imagine like two kids playing each independently, så leger de hver for sig. And of course then you just say, vi betaler sammen, vi betaler hver for sig, or simply just sammen, hver for sig. Often this kind of thing is like learning all the very basic sort of textbook sort of expressions and then stripping it away, because, you know, when I say like, jeg vil gerne have en kop kaffe, må jeg bede om en kop kaffe? Often I would just go in and say directly, hey, en kaffe latte med havremælk. I wouldn't even say, jeg vil gerne, because, I don't know, politeness is not such a big deal in Denmark, so you can be direct. This is what I want, give it to me. So that's pretty much everything, right? The only thing that is left to say is, you know, that's going to be this much. They're going to give you the price. I'm going to try to insert a row below here. A common way they ask it, that'll be this much. That would be, they say, det bliver 100 kroner. Det bliver 250 kroner. Maybe they ask about cord, content, but usually you don't have to worry about that thing because you just like give it to them, right? Or you hold up your card. So again, it's like not only using your words, but using your body, using your hands, getting what you need to communicate across. So det var sådan set det hele. That was pretty much everything. I hope that you can now feel confident when you go to order coffee. And make sure that you do use Danish at the cafe, because that's like the best place to practice, because once you do it once, do it twice, do it 3 times, you start to get confident, then it becomes like normal for you to use Danish when you're out in the world, and yeah, slowly, you'll start to do it in all kinds of situations. Tak for i dag. Vi ses i lektion nummer 5. DanishTube.